Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories. If you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too? Oh, super cheeky of you. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from a throwaway account. It's titled, I, 32 male, overheard my girlfriend, 32 female, tell her sister, 27 female, that she is dating down, being with me because she makes more money than me, and is surprised that I don't have roommates. I make 135k a year, she makes 205k. My girlfriend and I have been together for 8 months, so a bit about ourselves. I graduated from a top 10 public university, and I work at a great architecture firm in New York City as a senior project architect. Because I know people will ask me, I make in total 135k a year. My girlfriend works as a software developer. She went to a decent state school and works at a tech company as an engineer. When we go out for dates in the beginning, I used to pay all the time. Now we do closer to 60-40. When it comes to salary, she specifically asked. I don't like to have that conversation, but hey, I thought, if we're going to one day be married, then it's important to know. When I told her, she got a bit shy about sharing hers, but I didn't mind. And my girlfriend prides herself on being a feminist, so I didn't think anything of it. I thought she was worried she was going to embarrass me, but I didn't care. This is how things went down. I was in the living room working out, and she was on the phone with her sister. I was doing push-ups and wasn't paying attention, but it went like this. Her sister was going to leave DC to come to New York City, and she was like, oh, don't want to come to New York City. That dating here is a hellhole. This is where I started listening, and she said that she has to date down. She said my name is a sweet guy, but he doesn't do that well. He only makes 130k. I'm surprised he wasn't living with roommates. She went into other parts and then mentioned this isn't what she envisioned with life. After she got off the phone, I confronted her. First of all, she gets angry at me saying she deserves privacy, and I told her that was BS, that she talks about being open, so let's talk. This thing is massively summarized. We talked for over 6 hours and resulted in me leaving for my cousin's apartment. Long story short, she told me that she loved me and is happy with me. She then says it's just that I'm going to judge you by societal norms that we all know is out there, and I'm not doing that well. I got angry about all of this. I told her I'm doing great in my field, that her field pays more, but that doesn't make her better than me, and that my title is much higher than hers, that I actually manage a team of 10. She starts going off on how computer science brings in a lot more talented people, but it doesn't matter that she doesn't want to have this conversation because it's hurting my male ego. I got angry and told her that my ego is just fine, that being talked down to is fucked up. This leads to more back and forth, and then if she wants to compare me by societal standards for men, then I will compare her to societal standards for women. As she isn't a catch by any means, that does anyone really want a 30-plus-year-old girlfriend? She starts crying and insulting me more, saying that she gave me a shot and that I treat her like this. I got even angrier after all this. I just left. I don't know what to say. I'm okay with dating a woman that makes more than me. Really, I don't mind, but I hate that she thinks she is smarter and / dating down being with me. That's messed up. Also, too, in our conversation, she compared me to some of her exes that had more money than me. I can understand that if a girl is used to a guy paying for everything, it can be a bit of a change of pace. I get that. Look, I wish I made enough to where I could pay the bill without blinking. I wish I could, and I hope to one day. But the catch is, these guys didn't even date her. They hooked up a couple of times and they might have taken her to a couple of fancy restaurants. They weren't official. I'm sorry if this came off ranty. This fight happened yesterday and I'm still in my cousin's apartment. My girlfriend has called me a couple of times and I haven't picked up. I don't know what to do. I feel like even if she does apologize, intrinsically she might just believe that I'm inferior and she has to settle. She might just say some things to stroke my ego and that's it. At this point, is this relationship basically dead? Is it even worth salvaging at this point? I know I said some mean things too, and if she was to apologize, I would as well. I don't want to put anyone down, but at the same time, the thought that she was being snobbish and looking down on me for my financial situation just really irks me. What do you guys suggest I do? Now, for me, if I overheard someone, my partner, say that they was dating down, overheard them talking about me in that sort of way, that would be it. There would be no coming back from that, unless there was some sort of bloody good excuse for a reason that she was saying it. And I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm just throwing that out there just in case, but that would, if I overheard that, that would be it for me. I wouldn't be able to look at them the same way with them thinking about me in that particular way. Trust would be gone for me. But Paranoid says, what you just encountered was a power struggle, dude. My wife makes 400k a year as a doctor, and I only make 50k a year as an attorney. She would never even speak the words, "I'm dating down." That's a total lack of respect. You stood up for yourself and were a bit cruel in doing so. It doesn't sound like this will work, but you gotta find yourself footing as equals. Shelf Life Inc. says in quotes, "When we go out for dates, in the beginning I used to pay all the time. Now we do closer to 60-40. And then says, "See, this is what I consider fucked. She is earning roughly 50% more than you, but expects you to pay the lion's share of dates because you're the man. Oh wait, is it because she thinks she's dating down? And the least you can do is pay for her company. This relationship isn't salvageable. She's proven she has no respect for you and doesn't see you as her equal." Opie says we had a huge talk about this. Basically, we went to a log cabin in Connecticut and I asked her to split the Airbnb with me. And she then went on a whole spiel that the guy she used to date paid for her and that she's used to being treated a certain way. Epoxy Heart says, "I'm glad you found out this information now as opposed to later on when you've invested even more. There is a woman out there that will love and appreciate you for the man you are, regardless of your salary. You can either cut your losses, get out and go and find one that will value you for the right reasons, rather than what you put in the bank. Or if you want your worth to always be measured by how much money you make, by all means, stay in this relationship." And one more comment from Oat who says, "I am constantly surrounded by people like her. I went to Berkeley, just graduated, and this kind of thinking is everywhere, especially those in tech. All they want is to live a luxurious lifestyle, buy Teslas and flaunt their money. They're constantly trying to climb the social ladder, and if you're not up there with them, you're only going to bring them down. Lol. It's fucking sad. If she still thinks that now, she's never going to change. You're right, she's always going to see you as inferior, even if she's apologized. If I were you, I'd get out now. You can do so much better. Let her continue on with her materialistic ways while you find someone who is genuine, smart, kind, and most of all will love and accept you for who you are and doesn't care about that bullshit. Good luck." So OP does come back in to update the post and they said, "First of all, thank you all for your comments. When I made the post I was unsure if I was overreacting. I still didn't want to see 8 months go down the drain, especially considering the fact that we had such a good time together so far. So I really wanted to see what she would say. I would stick to my views that I wasn't going to be treated as the second tier. Hey guys, decided to update you guys on what went down. I moved back into the apartment and my girlfriend went to Connecticut to her family's apartment." Weird bit of a jump there, but hey, we talked to each other on the phone. My girlfriend starts saying that she misses me and wants to put this behind us. She says that she was being general when talking to her sister and it's unfair to compare architecture salaries to tech, as architecture is more of an art than engineering. Architecture is a lot about design, while tech is about solving problems. I get annoyed and tell her, even if we were at different parts of our career, it doesn't mean you were dating down. Honestly, I was getting more and more upset. I realized that back in the day when I supported her, I really just built up her ego when I used to call her brilliant and talented. We start talking more and she starts going off on how her accomplishments are super impressive because she is a woman, and that she would be an architect at a FANG company if she was a white man. I was like, okay, you know that this is not working out, nor will it work out. She then says that I wasted her time, that we dated for all this time and I break up over the smallest thing. She doesn't mind being the breadwinner, that my male ego couldn't handle the fact that a woman was doing better than me. I didn't want to fight, so I told her yup. And she gets angrier, starts saying how she loved me, took care of me, supported me, even paid for me, and this is how I treat her. She then goes off saying that she did date down. She told me good luck finding some bimbo that works at a gym. My ex worked at Equinox as a personal trainer and she was jealous of her. And maybe then they would be impressed by a date at Olive Garden. I never took her there, and my studio apartment. And she starts saying more stuff to piss me off and hurt me more. I tell her maybe these guys should take her to Olive Garden instead of these expensive dates. That way they will have enough money to take her out on a second date after they had sex with her. And this pissed her off. I'm so glad I got on her FaceTime for this. But yeah, she went on to say that my work is meaningless, that I am a loser as a man, that I'll never be able to have a family in New York City, that I barely have enough to take care of myself. I was like, okay, good luck. You are the one that's about to be 33. Good luck having kids. Hopefully your company covers IVF. And hung up. I know I was mean, but you know, this entire time she thought she was above me and thought of my life's accomplishments as nothing. That's where we are broken up, and after what was said too, I don't see a chance of us reconnecting in the future at all. For me, I guess what I really liked about her was the fact she was intelligent, and a lot of the similar family values I wanted in a partner. But I wouldn't be okay with being in a relationship with someone that thought of themselves above me. So yeah, that's that. We are done now. Thank you guys for your support. My inflated male ego is fine. It's hurting, but I'm glad we had this fight. I got to see more of her character, and I can say for a fact that I'm making the right decision. And a lot of the comments on that update were just talking about both their salaries, you know, just having a wild salary in general. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit asking, am I the arsehole for telling my family that my kids and I will not be visiting if we can't bring my husband's sister? My husband, 32, and I, 30, have 3 kids. Female 5, male 3, female 3 months, is that? My husband has a 10-year-old sister that practically lives with us. We don't have custody of her right now. We're working on it, but we have her for up to 2 weeks at a time. She'll go home for a couple of days, then come back for 2 more weeks. She has a room at our house and I consider her to be one of my kids. She is the sweetest kid. She never argues, never gets in trouble, absolutely no behavior issues. She's just a little shy and stays close to us when we're around unfamiliar people. My family has been asking us to visit since we had my youngest, but they don't want my 10-year-old there. I didn't want to start any problems, so I've been saying not now for the past 3 months, but they were really pushing it the other day, so I finally told them that we won't be visiting until my 10-year-old is invited and made to feel welcome. I'm not going to deal with bullshit like my bio kids getting presents and not my 10-year-old, or her sleeping on the couch when everyone else gets to bed. They want us to compromise and send her to a sleepaway camp so she'll have fun and they don't have to host her, but I refuse. It's all or none. Now they're saying I'm a bad mum to my bio kids for taking away their grandparents because they won't accept a kid that's not even ours as their grandchild. I'm starting to second guess myself and wonder if I'm wrong for not letting my kids see my family because they don't accept my 10-year-old. Now, I can honestly say, hand on my heart, if I was in your position, OP, and, a member or members of my family treated that child in that way, I wouldn't want much to do with it anymore. That's completely heartless, and it just breaks my heart for that kid. Please do continue to stand your ground on this. Even if they come to visit you, they don't turn up with gifts for the 10-year-old, do not allow them in. It's uncalled for. What goes through their mind to not include a 10-year-old in it at all? Attempting trying to get you to send them away. And you said yourself that you're in the process of getting custody of her. Do you think your parents' views are going to change once you get custody? I don't think they will. I think this is something that you're going to have to keep battling. And for me, it's something that I wouldn't be able to look past in the future either. You're doing this now. I can't see your views changing at any point down the road. They'd have to really try and prove themselves for me to trust them again on that. Ooh, that's got me tearing up for a little 10-year-old there. But From the Foot says, not the arsehole. I wish that I had you in my corner if I were that child. What concerns me is the fact that you even have to go there. Your parents and family should automatically treat anyone that you consider family with respect and as family. Good for you to stand your ground. I cannot imagine even having that process to exclude the 10-year-old. What the hell is wrong with people? Opie says they say that she's not legally or biologically our child, so they don't need to have anything to do with her. What kind of fucking attitude is that? Oh, don't get me started. Let's carry on with the comments. Dry Structure says, not the arsehole. And if I were you, I wouldn't visit even after you have legal custody. OP says, I just feel bad taking away their extended family. We don't have anything to do with any of my husband's family, except for my 10-year-old bio mum and stepdad. And this next comment that replied to OP just took the words out of my mouth from Chopped Liver, who says, no extended family is better than bad extended family. Create a family for all your children with loving friends. Don't expose them to ungenerous, small-minded people who won't embrace a child who isn't their blood. How cruel. Not the arsehole, but your family are. Jumpy Rocket Cat says, not the arsehole, protect your 10-year-old. She's already getting bounced back and forth. I don't think this is the best summer for sleepaway camp. She's going to feel like you're getting rid of her for a while because she's inconvenient, which would be true. Your parents suck. How hard is it to welcome another child into your fold? How hard is it to extend love a little wider? Not the arsehole, not the arsehole, not the arsehole. Stay strong, Mama Bear. One more comment from Cat Soapbar, who says, not the arsehole, your parents are the arseholes here. What the fuck? This is just so cruel and unreasonable. I'm assuming there's a good reason why this child effectively lives with you, and for them to say something like this about her is just foul. They often like this. If my parents said that about a child I was caring for, I will tell them they either see us all or none at all, and will consider going low or no contact with them. Edit, my husband's grandmother doesn't even acknowledge the existence of my daughter from a previous relationship. Things she said about me and her I won't repeat, but she's an evil old witch, and I refuse to have anything to do with her. Her biological grandchildren refuse to see her because she's so deeply unpleasant, and that's the one that's too young to decide. Sister-in-law's son. She won't have in her home because he has ginger hair. I wish I was kidding. He isn't missing out. All this to say, it's fine to cut people off. Kids know what is going on. They can manage just fine with less family. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Successful Tree 7150 and says, am I the arsehole for calling my sister-in-law stupid after she got upset about my wedding dresses? I, 24 female, am Indian American. My sister-in-law, 25 female, is white. We're both getting married within a few weeks of each other. My parents and in-laws are paying for most of my wedding. My brother and sister-in-law decided to pay for their own wedding. My parents are going to pay for the reception because the groom's parents traditionally pay for that, but they're paying for everything else themselves. My sister-in-law invited me to go dress shopping with her yesterday. She already had her dress for the white wedding, and yesterday she bought lehengas, pronunciation I do apologize, Indian dresses for the reception and pre-wedding event. She's condensing all the events into one day. After she bought her clothes, she asked to see mine. I did most of my wedding shopping in India. I have 4 lehengas, all of which are from a famous Indian bridal designer. The one I'm wearing to my actual wedding was about 10k USD, and all of them cost about 25k put together, including jewelry and accessories. My wedding outfits cost around 50k. I didn't offer any of this information. My sister-in-law asked me to tell her. After I told her, she was pretty shocked and asked if I'm making my parents pay for all that. I'm not. They're paying for 2 of the dresses and the jewelry, but my fiance's parents are paying for my reception dress because they're hosting the reception, and my mum's brother paid for my wedding dress because the bride's maternal uncle traditionally pays for the wedding dress. Sister-in-law said that just one of my dresses cost more than hers, and my wedding is probably going to overshadow hers because mine is 2 weeks before, and the guests are probably going to be talking about how her sister-in-law had nicer dresses and much more extravagant wedding. I said that she's being stupid and hardly anybody will even remember what I wore at my wedding. I'm generally pretty soft-spoken and I don't cuss, so calling someone stupid is about as harsh as I get. She got upset and left my house, looking like she was about to cry. Later my brother called and said that she's really sad and I should have lied or changed the topic. I'm a really bad liar and I don't know how I could have changed the topic when she was there to see my dresses. Sister-in-law and I have been good friends since before she was with my brother. She's always been very emotional. She'd be over it by Monday at the latest, but I feel bad about upsetting her. Am I the arsehole? And we do have some edits after the comments. But we'll start off with Catman, who says not the arsehole, though I am curious about why she and your brother felt like they had to decline help from your parents. When there's that big a disparity between wedding budgets and family support, it's usually because there's some underlying tension somewhere. Maybe they just preferred to keep it low-key and under their control, and she had last-minute envy when she saw how luxe your setup is. If she usually calms down, reach out in a couple of days and ask her how she's doing. Edited to say now, I've seen your dresses. She's absolutely having last-minute envy. Those are gorgeous. Opie replies saying sister-in-law wanted no more than 80 people at her wedding. My parents had a list of about 30 more they wanted to invite. They were willing to give them money even if they didn't invite all of them, but my sister-in-law didn't want the pressure. Timothy says everyone sucks here. Your sister-in-law is being jealous based on the numbers you tell her. She should just mind her own wedding and enjoy attending yours and having hers instead of worrying about the silliest things. But you shouldn't have called her stupid. That was definitely unnecessary and you should take accountability for that even if she does get over it by Monday. Be responsible for your actions, even if she said something that's ridiculous to you. Prairie Mountains End says, you're the arsehole. You could have simply told your sister-in-law that her wedding will be lovely too, and not to worry about yours overshadowing hers. Calling her stupid was really the best you could do? Technical Habit says, not the arsehole. Comparison is the thief of joy. She really needs to stop that. Focus on herself, her wedding, her day, and get her jealousy under control. You and your family made your choices as adults, everyone consenting adults. She and her fiancé made their choices in regards to their wedding. The conflict is jealousy and comparison, but no, you are not the arsehole. Actual Joe says you're the arsehole actually. I think your sister-in-law got very anxious about the situation and probably needed some consoling about it. Because she's right, your wedding will be much more extravagant than hers. She just needed to be reminded of how it shouldn't matter and that she's going to be so lovely too. You didn't have to tell her that her feelings were stupid right to her face and then patronize her about how no one will remember what you wore when you have 50k worth of outfits. And there was a lot of comments on this one focusing on the stupid, saying, you're the arsehole for calling her stupid. And usually I would agree, telling someone they're stupid is never going to end well, really. Some people saying, she's being jealous and therefore she is stupid. But I kind of read it as in this one, the stupid comment is like, don't be so stupid. It's absolutely fine. And a few people, I'm not going to say everyone because, some people might take it completely different, but especially people that I know, if you said that to someone, it's just an off the cuff comment, don't be silly kind of thing. Maybe I completely read that wrong, but the edits say, my fiance and I chose our date first. Our birthdays are one day apart and we decided to get married on the day in between. My brother and sister-in-law chose their date because it wasn't as expensive as the other dates they considered and the weather is good in their honeymoon destination around that time of year. Edit 2, I realised that even if I'm not the arsehole, I'd rather not risk losing my friendship with her over something so minor. I'm going to call her in the morning and apologise. Edit 3, I called her and apologised. She wasn't as upset as I thought she might be and we're going to get coffee together today. Thanks for all your advice. And these are the dresses if anyone wants to see. Let's take a little cheeky look, shall we? And OP mentioned these dresses are all through different points throughout the day. They're absolutely stunning, aren't they? I always bring it up when we talk about Indian weddings. And whenever I go to watch football in the UK, I always pass this venue. And if it's football on a Saturday, you can guarantee there's an Indian wedding in there. And some of the outfits and the dresses and the food, the smells. Oh my word, don't get me started. I just want to stroll in there. It's just a complete vibe. But what are you guys making of this situation? How would you have dealt with it if it was you? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.